everyone, and welcome to our YouTube channel, Moneyline with Nancy at TV. In case you're not a subscriber yet, please do subscribe. Just press the subscribe button as well as turn on the notification bell so that you can get notifications when we upload our videos. Don't also forget to subscribe and join, follow, like our other social media platforms. Of course, you're seeing it right about now. Don't also forget to share this video across your platforms. Enjoy the video. Hello and welcome to the program. This is Moneyline with Nancy. I am Nancy Naji, and thank you all for joining us again. So much has been happening in the last few days. You would notice that I'm not in my usual location, which is inside the studio. So much is happening, especially in the world of finance and the economy as well as business. Now, what exactly am I saying right now? The Central Bank of Nigeria, in collaboration with NIBSS and, of course, partners such as the commercial banks in Nigeria, have launched the Non-Resident BVN framework. What does this mean? It means that Nigerians in the diaspora can now register to get their BVN online. What does this guarantee? This guarantees that there will be more diaspora remittances. This guarantees that more dollars, more foreign currencies will come into the country. This guarantees that Nigerians abroad can now have access to financial assets in the country. They can now invest, they can now buy houses because, of course, all those things require documentation. I don't need to say too much, but as you know it, Moneyline with Nancy always keeps you up to the minute and speed with everything happening in the world of economy and business. And this is a very good initiative. I'm not saying it because I'm the spokesperson of Central Bank or NIBSS, but this is one innovation that is very good for our country, that will support diasporan remittances, that will build the economy. So without further ado, let's take you through what transpired here.
Who are we? Nigerian Intercontinental Bank Settlement System, the National Central Switch, and is owned by all the Deposit Money Bank and the Central Bank. The trusted National Super Switch, designated a critical national infrastructure by the federal government of Nigeria, and will provide interoperability and enabler for ecosystem financial activities, and facilitate cross-border payment through PAPs, and of course, created a lower cost of banking services. We enable, we don't compete. We are 32 years old. We've done over 50 billion transactions in process, and almost 4 trillion transaction value processed so far, over 1,000 connecting entities. We provide the instant payment service, and we are poised by next month to release the new version of the instant payment. We also process POS through the NUS platform, and identity management, which is the BVN. Our core platform is instant payments, settlement services, BVN and ID services, and recently the National Domestic Card, Afrigo, launched, and the interoperability, hub, clearinghouse, fraud management, and industry enabler. We delivered Afrigo, Nigeria's domestic payment card scheme, and I'm happy to state that we are the first card scheme in the whole world to provide instant same-day settlement to merchants. It is live and it is working. It's the first in the world. We launched contactless debit and prepaid cards and deployed offline payment functionality accepted across all touchpoints, the GMPC and the government to P cards in partnership with NIBSS. We delivered National Domestic Card Scheme, proudly Nigerian product, which is made for you, and is issued by all commercial and microfinance banks. Now the NRBVN, the reason why I'm here today, and I'm happy to state, what's the problem statement? Barrier to entry. Nigerians are everywhere in the world. How do we solve this problem and bring those who want to open accounts and make that possible for them? Lack of centralized digital solution, enrollment solution, no centralized digital enrollment channel, to discourage diaspora engagement, then also limit connections to Nigerian financial system because people are in different places and the enrollment is not readily available. The wrong perception of regulatory inflexibility, and then limited access to foreign investment, because without accounts, then you can't actually move money in or out. The key objective of the NRBVN, therefore, was to develop a centralized and scalable digital solution for BVN enrollment anywhere from the comfort of your sitting room. Enable seamless KYC information collection via digital channels, and then facilitate non-resident Nigerian account opening and remittance services for diverse investment purposes. The target audience, Nigerian citizens without BVN living in diaspora, the Nigerian citizens with BVN living in diaspora without local accounts, and then Nigerians by descent without BVN or local accounts, evidence of Nigerian citizenship, or either parent is required to get on the platform. The NRBVN solution overview is built with a world-class verification, validation, and authentication standard. Delivers centralized KYC and customer verification for non-resident Nigeria. Provides scalable, it's based on the scalable platform. And the NRBVN issuance for Nigerians, the ID verification and biodata enrollment, facial biometric is captured via liveliness checks and phone validation service, NRBVN issuance and validation delivered. It's a seamless account opening through the portal, and of course, the most important thing, direct remittance via the platform. Now, this is the journey, the user experience onboarding. The first thing you do on the portal is to submit your passport, and it's OCR verification, that's optical character recognition. And then you provide your data, your birth data information, and the liveliness checks and phone number validation takes place. There are a lot of embedded security features behind all this process, so it's not just go in and you succeed, but there are a lot of checks carried out. Then the user experience, you choose between the onboarding process, then open account, open a BVN bank account, then remit money, that's the landing spot. Then you have all the banks who are currently connected. Then you continue to account opening process on the bank's platform. Then the user experience for remittance of money, select remit money, enter payment details, then complete remittance process on the payment gateway. This is live, and all this can happen in the comfort of your sitting room. 31 NRBVN has been generated, and 34 are at different stages, while 342 are currently awaiting validation and confirmation. The key components of the NRBVN has to do with the AML management process, which is customer identification, complete due diligence on the customer, which is taken very seriously, and then enhanced due diligence and ongoing monitoring process, which has been embedded into the system. I will base this on sanction list, the OFAC, as well as rely on Dow Jones Global Database for confirmation of identity and a lot of other things. Then the benefit is, just listed here, easy access to Nigerians to generate an NRBVN for themselves and then to have accounts in Nigeria. Then secure and scalable platform, increase diaspora remittance. We already see that happening in some countries. And then faster onboarding process, better financial inclusion for Nigerians outside, seamless remittance into the country at a cheaper rate, and then extendable to NNNROD, which is the non-Nigerian, non-resident directors. As we are aware, most companies, most accounts in Nigeria today, they have issues where BVN of the non-resident directors are outstanding. So these have actually been factored in here to solve the problem. Then the enrollment process, this is the landscape which I described. We've received enrollment from countries like Guyana, Qatar, Hungary, Finland, United Kingdom, USA, Canada, and Australia also as well. And this is the total banks that have 27 banks, commercial banks are live, and the BVN accounts has commenced with several banks fully ready to onboard. We also have 2 IMTOs who have connected, BIM and TazaPay. And there have been 2 inflows also into this account, one into Keystone Bank and the other into Premium Trust Bank. And TazaPay, the 2 IMTOs are available in 38 countries, and we are working to ensure that 140-something other countries will be enabled shortly, based on each country's governance system. But the United Kingdom and US is on this list, as indicated below. Then in conclusion, what are the takeaways? The seamless access to have BVN to Nigerians anywhere and all over the world is now presented, courtesy of the central bank. And then opportunity gateway for us as a nation. Then global compliance, local impact on the inflows, and of course the NNNROD. Then the BVN enabled remittance, where people can easily send in money in and out of Nigeria. Then ecosystem boost. This will certainly help. And I expect all Nigerian IMTOs, the 2 IMTOs that have integrated are non-Nigerian IMTOs. So I expect the local IMTOs to also take the opportunity and integrate to this platform. Then I expect also the banks to communicate after the launch, at least to all their customers, both in Nigeria and those in diaspora, to be aware of this opportunity. There are a lot of Nigerians trapped outside there who require account. I will round up by thanking the CBN governor and the entire management of CBN. This was actually an idea of the central bank, and it's aimed at solving our own domestic problem. And as you're all aware, nobody's going to come from outside this country to help us. We are first of all Nigerians. Until we take the bull by the horn to solve our problem, nobody else is going to come. And this is one of such products. So my general remark, as you're all aware, NIBSS is owned by all of you and the central bank. I expect that we'll take this and also showcase it around the world and drive home the remittances. Thank you very much.
It is a groundbreaking innovation anchored by NIBSS. Prior to this, it was a nightmare for Nigerians in diaspora to get their BVNs, to be able to even operate accounts in Nigeria. And now they can sit in the comfort of their homes and get the BVNs to be able to operate and open accounts in Nigeria. And open those accounts and also hold them in dollars. So this is a very, very significant move that everybody needs to understand. In the last 20 years or so, the economic growth in India and Pakistan was largely driven by diaspora flows, very significant diaspora flows over the years. So this will enable us to unlock those flows. Everybody, as we're all aware, I think after the Indians, Nigerians is probably the most successful diasporans abroad in terms of professionals holding jobs, doing businesses. So this is a great opportunity for them to participate in the growth of Nigeria. Most of us are aware of what's used to obtain in the past, where you would, through several channels that are not official channels, diasporans will send money home, and they will receive pictures of buildings that are actually not their buildings. So this is now an opportunity for you to actually open those accounts, make investments in property, in the financial markets, in the capital markets, as you wish, just the same way they do abroad, and be able to monitor what is happening. So this is significant, and we expect that once all the banks and the IMTOs latch on, we would see significant growth in diaspora flows and develop our economy effectively.
I want to start by commending Central Bank of Nigeria, the entire management, under the visionary leadership of the Governor of Central Bank, Mr. Olayemi Kadoso, for their brilliant initiative. They've had several brilliant initiatives that they've launched, especially on how they have been able to stabilize the foreign exchange market. That is a very great development and initiative in our country today. And today we're experiencing that stability. And today, again, they're already unveiling another brilliant initiative, which is the launching of the BVN. This is a very strategic move and is actually going to help the diaspora people, which is more than 17 million people, to be able to open accounts in Nigeria and have investments in Nigeria. And the initiative is a very great one because you can now do onboarding, seamless onboarding, and you'll be able to open current account as well as get your remittances down to Nigeria. Congratulations on that brilliant initiative, and I'm very happy. Thank you very much, and I'm very happy to be and humbled to be part of this great panel. Coming to what Zenith Bank has done. Zenith Bank is a bank that's known for being very proactive, creative, and innovative. And we're a technologically driven bank that's very customer-centric. When this idea came, I must really commend NIBSS under the leadership of Mr. Premier for his stakeholder engagement. He engaged all of us, trying to make sure that he has our input to be able to get a seamless process. And they really work hard to establish this. So NIBSS, congratulations as well. Thank you very much. So for us, Zenith, we are very ready because we are part of the process, we are part of the integration, and we are part of the entire journey. And we've been able to build a very robust IT infrastructure, which we have enabled with NIBSS platform, and we are ready to start the onboarding process. And within that period, because Zenith has just fully launched and we're able to get a new IT infrastructure that is very robust, that's going to be able to onboard a lot of customers seamlessly. We integrated the liveness identity capabilities in the system to be able to check the identity theft, which makes the process very secured. And for us, we have also put a lot of staff in place to do training to be able to take care of the onboarding of Diaspora on the BVN platform that we have in place waiting to take off. And we've done the testing, and I can assure you that it is working and is very effective. So for us, we are very ready, and we are already doing a lot to be able to start the enrollment process. We've put the necessary structures in place, both in product and services. Thank you very much.
This is a game changer for Nigerians in the diaspora. In fact, I think, Chairman, you said 300 and something have contacted you. Thousands have bombarded us. That when is this starting? So this is something they're all excited about and looking forward to with proper implementation. They do have some concerns, like, for instance, data privacy protection, which I'm sure you will handle as we move on. They also have concerns about double taxation. They've been asking me, I hope it doesn't be a backdoor double taxation, but I'm sure those are things that with more explanation on what this is about, we will explain these things to them. We look forward to working with you and the CBN to take this directly to the diaspora. When they started the passport thing, it was like, oh, it's not possible. But they sit in the comfort of their homes and apply for their passports. So with these, the advantages are so numerous. We're still scratching the surface with $20 billion remittances. We haven't gotten anywhere yet. We're saying we have about 20 million Nigerians in the diaspora. We have much more than that. I'm not talking about those ones on the African continent. So we're still scratching the surface. So if this is properly implemented, what you're talking about, India, Bangladesh, Nigeria will go way ahead of that. So this, for us in the Diaspora Commission, we're willing and ever ready, like since yesterday, to work with you to take it to the diaspora. I also suggested that maybe one of these days there could be like having somebody in any of the continents actually seeing them as you were demonstrating. Want to see them actually open live so people can have that experience. So a lot of awareness needs to be put in place. The concerns about data privacy and whatever other concerns, we'll gather all the information and share with you, which we've been doing with the Deputy Governor, So we are excited about this. Like you said, it's actually very good news. And another thing is a lot of Nigerians want to invest back home. They just want to come back home, particularly what is happening in America. And in terms of properties and all that, yes, they send their brothers to pay for homes, and it turns out that it disappears. But we have a program also with the CBN and Federal Mortgage Bank where you can now actually buy your own homes again through the comfort of your homes without, we'll be like a bridge to stop all that fraudulent thing. So really they want to come back home and invest. And this will make it easier for them. Because the biggest questions are passport, BVN. Now you're solving that problem. And I think CBN and all of you deserve a round of applause, and NIBSS. I also want to put something across. Now, in your presentation, you talk about Nigeria, people of Nigerian descent. And one of the questions we're being asked, I just had a program here at the Transcorp on migration. If a Nigerian has done, if somebody of descent, you've done your DNA, right? And it says you're a Nigerian. They want to open an account. They want the Nigerian passport. They want to come back home. So maybe the definition starts with you. And the lady who started DNA testing, Gina Page, she was in Nigeria. She started the genetic DNA testing 23 years ago. So you can do your DNA and discover that you're from your village. So if you've done that, and she came with 15 people. And in her database, there are over 50,000 that have done their DNA and are Nigerians. 80%, they will tell you their villages, you know. So, are they qualified? To be described as of Nigerian descent. Do we have the moral right to say no to them? We're having a conversation with the Minister of Interior, but I believe you here can do something for those you call of Nigerian descent. So once more, congratulations. We want to work with you, market this, do road shows, take it to their doorsteps all over the world. As I spoke with the CBN governor some time ago, we haven't moved to places like Saudi Arabia, Middle East, Asia. The kind of Nigerians there, forget America and all those places. They are very comfortable. They want to invest, but they want this seamless innovation that you have come up with. So we look forward to success stories. Thank you very much.
This, what I'm seeing here and what I'm hearing here is it's truly not lying, a game changer for the remittance space and also for the country. We have 16 countries in Africa where we send remittances to right now under my management. None of them have something like this, right? So I'll break it down a little bit. Currently, we focus on sending money from A to B, which is remittances. So you send $100 and it goes to your cousin. That's sending remittance from A to B. And remittance industries have been worried about what happens next. Now, beyond remittances, what are we going to do? This is genuinely beyond remittances. This is genuinely going beyond people just sending money from A to B. This is going beyond just enabling people to send £100 or $100 or $200. So the ticket sizes we see are much smaller. Whilst we do millions, people do 7, 8 transactions a month, and those are typically around $120, okay? Something like this creates trust, which means that they can do a whole lot more. So the ticket sizes would definitely go up far beyond $120 per transaction. It would do much larger transactions, so they would send $10,000, because the big thing about sending money to Africa, my personal mission is to move all the money from the West into Africa, and I've been doing that for the last 5 years. I'll keep doing that. This would really help. So if you want to send money to Africa, you worry about the FX impact. Whether we like it or not, there's a huge FX impact. I don't want to say, I've lived in London for 20 years, even though I'm Ghanaian. I don't want to move all my money to Ghana. I don't want to do that, right? Because I worry about the FX impact. And my Nigerian brothers worry too. I live with lots of them. I know lots of them. Now, this removes that risk completely. And it allows them to directly take part and influence the financial system. They can buy houses, they could do mortgages, they could invest in financial products, they could start businesses and invest in their own businesses. This is a game changer. This begins to change the landscape. So as remittance companies, as I run one, yes, you would say that this is moving the money from the remittance companies to the banks. But no, this is doubling remittances from 20 billion to 40 billion. This is a whole new additional thing. So you would begin to see that money will start going into small businesses because we can do that now. Money will start going into investments because we can do that now. If I can invest in a home here, I'll probably do that now. So I genuinely believe and feel, on behalf of all the remittance companies and all the diasporans living everywhere in the world, that this will change the game for Nigeria. This will bring more remittances in. And if you don't see remittances double in 10 years, there is something going wrong here. So I firmly believe that. And I would want to see it happen.
When you started, you spoke about India, you spoke about Pakistan. Maybe I'll add Mexico to that mix. These are countries who have funded a large portion of their economies through diaspora flows. I think at the last count, India had about 83 billion in flows. The likes of Mexico about 40, Pakistan about 30 billion. So where we are today at over 20, we might compare to Pakistan. But that can't be our benchmark. I mean, as you rightly pointed out, we're no different from India. Nigerians in diaspora are excelling across the world. 7 critical markets, the US, the UK, Canada, Ireland, Germany, Italy. You find Nigerians excelling in those markets and doing extremely well financially and able to bring wealth back into the continent. Two markets I like to look at is Kazakhstan and Tajikistan. And because of their closeness to Russia, and you have many of these citizens who work in Russia and bring money back, a good 28 to 30% of their GDP is funded primarily from diaspora flows. I'm not sure Nigeria can get there in the short term, but I think it just shows you the impact that diaspora flows can have on an economy. The Central Bank of Nigeria, and of course this government, is targeted on a $1 trillion economy. And that will take some doing. It will require that everyone who has a financial capacity is able to impact. And if you look at, from a development perspective, diaspora flows will impact consumption. It will impact investments, as we've all spoken about. It will impact savings. And that's where the focus is for us. So how have we looked at the product mix that we're creating? And I'll be quick to say that we're not doing this on our own. There are many partners that we're working with, and I think the more the merrier. And these are not necessarily financial partners. They're more fintech-like partners. If you look at India and Nigeria, really no different in terms of economic wealth and demographics. So the diaspora flows that come in focus on 5 principal things. The first, and no surprise, is family support. It's about 60% of why money comes back. To give money to your parents for feeding, to take care of medical, change in the pocket for transactional flow and stuff like that. That's a good 60% of why money comes back. And so what is it we're doing there? We've worked with a fintech that has developed a platform where if you needed to support your parents on a monthly basis and they have certain medication that they must take, and you're concerned about the quality of that product or whatever it is, you now have a platform, you can pay a certain amount of money on a monthly basis, and your parents' medical, or, well, at least the drugs that they need to take are settled and can be provided to their doorsteps on a monthly basis. You have fintechs starting in Ibadan who are doing things in the Southwest where on a monthly basis your groceries can be packaged and delivered to you. Imagine if those platforms are now available because people can have those accounts and it's easy to be done to their aged parents, family members. Challenge usually, and I have that challenge, is giving people cash. You really don't know what they want to do with it. I'd rather give it through, pay their insurance, medical insurance, pay for healthcare, blah, 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 and it's easier to monitor. So a lot of things are happening in that 60% bucket, and I think there's more innovation that we can create around that. The second is education. The third is investment, strangely, which is all the way down as number 3. It's about 15% of why people bring money. Investment in small businesses. Sometimes it's their own businesses, as Honorable Abike Dabiri has suggested, or sometimes they're investing in other people's businesses and are doing pretty much like crowdfunding and are looking for a significant upside from an equity play that they are taking. We have something referred to as bank to brokers, where through our platforms and our mobile system, you can bring liquidity in. We support you towards converting that liquidity, and then you can invest in the Nigerian capital market and then enjoy the benefits of those yields in local currency. The fourth reason why people bring money home is investment in real estate. So I was a bit surprised that the commercial banking business is now being taken by government, where they are providing a platform for mortgages. That really is our business, and I'm not sure it has changed. We started something last year called the Affordable Housing Scheme, where we built, working with state governments. We started with Lagos State, and we're going to Ogun, Katsina, and Akwa Ibom. We're working with those governments to build homes that make sense at reasonable prices. It's not a money-making venture at the start. It's to help build the real estate ecosystem. I think on the back of that, we can then start to monetize the benefit. That structure in itself ensures that we guarantee title, which is usually the largest challenge that people have, and then create a platform that allows you to look at those investments as wealth. So it's not about the fiscal infrastructure, which becomes illiquid, but it's an infrastructure or an investment which you can easily pass on from one person to another. And the last thing, DJ, is on philanthropy. It takes about 5 to 10% of the reason why people bring money. We have a platform today called Access Give. And I think a lot of people want to give back to Nigeria and want to make an impact. The challenge is that they are concerned around credibility of the platforms that they want to bring the money to. So if you have an institution like us and any other bank that has the credibility and creates a platform and say, you know, you can give towards education, support indigent students in the north or in the east or west, or you can bring money for healthcare, you'll find that there are many Nigerians who don't have to listen to those adverts in London, so give $5 or $10 to faceless children. They can bring $5 or $10 to children in Nigeria whose name you can know. And that Access Give platform, we started it towards the end of last year, beginning to gather its own steam. And I think this non-resident BVN will give further impetus for that 5 to 10% of flows to come into Nigeria.
I would say most of us probably are aware that Nigeria is working to get off the grey list, FATF's grey list. And that requires a lot of effort in terms of the technical side of things. But one thing it does require as well is this very visible, I guess, system of integrity, if you would. And the NRBVN is a very good example of that. It does, you know, what we couldn't have done in, you know, in so many words, because it requires compliance with standard KYC protocols all over the world, sanctions lists like the CEO of NIBSS said, and those things are critical. And as a compliance person, it is very rare to be able to say that you're part of something that you would use the tagline innovation, you know, in addition to it. So this is a very exciting time for everybody. And I think this would go a long way as we begin to even get to the end where we're going to be sort of exiting the list by the grace of God, which is something we love to say a lot in Nigeria because we definitely know that God is in control. But realistically, I really just need to say that it is a beacon of integrity that, you know, they've been looking for, because having a system in place that does not allow you to reduce your controls, in fact, it requires you to step up, is not something that, you know, happens often, especially when you're doing products, which is why, you know, this opportunity to say, hey, compliance is part of this innovation, but also doing the right thing is fantastic. So in terms of data privacy, I would say it's the same thing. So the platform obviously is, you know, compliant with the Data Protection Commission's regulations, and those are things that are standard. As part of the work that the regulator does, CBN, you know, we oversee not, you know, issue regulations around data privacy, but we oversee what the financial institutions that we cover are doing. And so there is no difference. It's the same thing with the AML piece, where the current regulations are being complied with, and those things are going to enhance and cause people to trust the system. So these issues of pictures that are not real, you know, like we mentioned at the start, should be reduced. So that's what I would share.
I'd like to thank my esteemed panel for a job well done in explaining what the platform is about. And I'm, like the MD NIBSS said, the help desk and hotline is open for further questions as people try to use the platform. Thank you very much.
All right, that's it today for this edition. I hope that you have been able to be informed and educated. All you need to do now is to call your family members, your loved ones, your friends abroad, that they can register to get their BVN online to enable them to do transactions to enable them to do whatsoever thing. Nigeria as well as NIBSS collaborated to get us what they call the non-resident BVN. I'll see you all again. Be the best you can be and be the change that you want to see. I am Nancy Naji. Bye for now. Thank you for making it up to this minute watching the video. Thank you all. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Moneyline with Nancy TV. Like, follow all our other social media platforms where we keep you up to speed with fantastic interviews, as well as markets, personal finance, business, and economy information. This is the best place to be. I'll see you all again in the next video.